Welcome to the bold analysis. I did promise you that I'll be back with another analysis just to explain what's happening in the Senate. Today, IG Kanja, the DCI Amin, and the Deputy Director of IPOA, somebody known as Wanjiku, I think is Anne Wanjiku, and is leading a delegation of and the Interior CS Murkomen, leading a delegation in the Senate to try to explain to the country what exactly happened. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos, and thank you very much for your support. This is the story of the hour, and keep it in this podcast, because here we are going to explain for you bit by bit what happened, what are they saying, and what can you interpret from the progress, or rather the update we are getting. So make sure you subscribe, and subscription is absolutely free. When you subscribe to our channel, you'll be getting notifications. I made some observations during that session. The Senate made sure that they speak under oath, so that everything they say there can be used in the court of law. IPOA boss, Isaac Hassan, who was in Central Police Station on Monday when the police bosses were giving their first ever press briefing, skipped the session. And the senators are really asking, such an important matter, what is this side engagement that chairman will be involved? Why he has sent her deputy. Number two, DIG Langat, amongst, and even Masengeli, who was the complainant against Albert, who died in police cell, was also not present. Of course, I think that was a move realizing the public uproar, the onslaught that would have been against him. And if you ask me, I can tell you the quasi-judicial angle, whatever the questions and the progress in Senate, is what this country needs, so that we unravel the truth. So what did they say, and what do you make of it? The first person to take the dock was Kipchumba Murkomen, the Interior CS. Murkomen is absolving himself from this deal, or is absolving himself from this incident, and is saying that the only interface of interaction between IG and, or rather between the ministry and police operations are policy directions. But real day-to-day operations of the police service are actually managed by the IG. This is a move that has really angered senators, because Eddie Okech, the Migori senator, actually asked Murkomen to explain. According to him, from where he is, he leads that team who killed Albert. And in a very clear word, you could see that Murkomen decided to send IG Kanja under the bus.
The independence of institutions is an extremely important value in our constitution. And as a result, Mr. Speaker, to insulate the National Police Service from interference from the executive, even the President, Mr. Speaker, is barred from giving directions to Inspector General of Police in regard to any investigations that are going on in a particular matter. So my position, Mr. Speaker, is confined in law to the place where I give either policy directions that must be put in writing under Article 245 of the Constitution, and, Mr. Speaker, also to provide support, financial support, Mr. Speaker, and other resources that the Parliament, Mr. Speaker, has also the responsibility to provide these resources through the relevant institutions. So I sympathize with the position of Honorable Eddie. Mr. Speaker, I agree with him that something has to be done. But, Mr. Speaker, he has asked a very pertinent question as to who is the culpable person through my eyes. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, the Constitution did not give me the eyes to see who is culpable. Those eyes have been given to the investigatory authorities under 245 of the Constitution, and that is why you rightly invited me, but also invited the independent institutions, Mr. Speaker. I'm confident, and this is the promise I give to the people of Kenya, that we will do everything within the ministry to ensure that there is no interference, there is no shielding of any individual, there is no cover-up, Mr. Speaker, from the part of the executive, and that, Mr. Speaker, that the Inspector General of the Police and the Independent Police Oversight Authority, which again, Mr. Speaker, in Article Section 4 of the IPOA Act, have been given independence, Mr. Speaker, in all matters of investigation regarding matters related to police brutality and police, Mr. Speaker, crimes committed by police officers. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, should questions arise that touch on policy issues, that touch on the ministry's policy contribution, Mr. Speaker, I am more than happy to respond. But I am glad to note that, Mr. Speaker, we have with us the Inspector General of Police, who exercises that independent authority, Mr. Speaker. We have here with the IPOA, and, Mr. Speaker, we have agreed, Mr. Speaker, that the Inspector General of Police is going to therefore delve into the matter itself of what really happened so that this House can get the proper information. And then as a Cabinet Secretary, I will continue with my oversight responsibilities from the ministry side with policy directions and to respond to this House on those issues that are policy in nature.
CS Murkomen, the National Security Council, where you sit, is charged with promoting and guaranteeing security of the country. And you have the audacity to come and face the Parliament of Kenya and tell Kenyans that you don't see, you don't know. CS Murkomen, please, for the respect of this young man, you are yet to grow a child up to the age of 31. Can you immediately resign? You are not fit to be in that docket. Please, I beg you, it is not personal. And if you think I'm joking, you are a well-read man. You know that in 2011, in Tunisia, a street hawker by the name of Mohamed Baouzi was killed. And people came into the streets, and the government of President Ben Ali was overthrown. You truly don't know what you're playing with. Please resign. You cannot be an inspiration to be in cabinet.
This statement, and I need to say it, this narrative that we don't interfere with police processes because we gave them financial autonomy, it's not something new. Even when Kindiki was in that docket at the height of Gen Z protest, Kindiki used to say, those are police operations where the president and even the minister are not involved. That is a big lie. There are some decisions that also affect the national security. And one thing still I fail to get to date. If the IG, the CS for Interior, CS for Defense, the President Security Advisor, and the Minister of Finance, if all these people have the highest decision-making organ, apex organ on the security of the country is the National Security Advisory Council. If they are members of National Security Advisory Council, how does it then come that the CS and the President always want to absolve themselves when things get out of hand? Then what exactly is the role, what exactly is the nexus between Interior docket and the National Security Advisory Council? In this one, it was very clear that Murkomen wanted to throw these other fellows under the bus. Now, just immediately after Murkomen told us that they cannot comment about this, the president has issued a statement on the death of this film, and I'm telling you, 7 minutes, 1.4K comments, and Kenyans are telling the president every sort of word. I just want you to read what the president have said so that you make up your mind. Are they really pushing for justice? Like most Kenyans, and especially as a parent, I received the news of the death of Albert Ojwang while in police custody with utter shock and deep dismay. I take this moment to extend my heartfelt condolences to Mr. Meshach Ojwang and his family for the cruel loss of their beloved son. This tragic occurrence at the hands of the police is heartbreaking and unacceptable. I strongly condemn the actions and omissions, including any negligence or outright criminality that may have contributed to this untimely death. It must bear in mind every member of National Police Service that whenever they take a person in custody, they assume a tremendous responsibility for that individual's safety, security, and well-being, and must make every effort to discharge his duty consciously and without fail. The National Police Service is the nation's trusted custodian of the security of all persons and property, and they must always uphold this trust in order to secure and maintain legitimacy and credibility in the eyes of the people. It has been my conviction that affirming the institutional autonomy of the police service is key to raising the standards of professionalism, effectiveness, accountability, and credibility. With crime and lawlessness, the service must therefore rise to the challenge of firmly dealing with crime and lawlessness, while also eradicating misconduct and unprofessional behavior within its own ranks. I therefore call on the National Police Service to fully cooperate with the Independent Policing Oversight Authority and to take every necessary measure to facilitate a swift, transparent, and credible investigation into the death of Ojwang. As we mourn his passing, let us patiently but vigilantly follow the progress of the investigations without making premature judgments or drawing conclusions that could compromise the process and its outcome. I fully expect that the truth about what happened to Ojwang will be established in due course and that justice will be served. Mr. President, the police cannot investigate themselves. IPOA is by extension under the National Police Service. Stop gaslighting the public. If you truly want to investigate Ojwang death, don't tell the country about IPOA. What have they investigated in the past and it has worked? No. This one, even if you make an inquiry from the National Assembly on, so that an independent, leave alone telling the country about IPOA. Yes. And of course, the conversation of let the National Police investigate themselves, that conversation doesn't get to the people. I think we must do better. And so after this, the next person was IG Kanja. IG Kanja, in a very clear statement, has just given an account of what happened from Homa Bay and has repeated what he said yesterday. In a very calculated move, seemingly protecting DIG Lagat, who was the key complainant in that case. And I looked at Kanja. Kanja was very disturbed. Very disturbed. And sometimes these are the situations that you don't want to, you don't want to get. And the only thing I want to say that is new that Kanja said is that the team had a stop in Narok where they gave Albert soda, maji, and biscuit that allegedly Albert wanted to eat. I don't buy even that part. I don't even believe with the kind of situation Albert was, he would have thought of eating anything. He will not be so nervous to eat anything from people who are his tormentors. He will believe you cannot ask for them unless they forced him. But something was very sinister about it. Kanja said everything, spoke about interdicted officers from Central Police Station, but something was still missing. How about the officers who then arrested Albert from Homa Bay? And this is where Anne Wanjiku, the deputy vice chair, the vice chairperson of IPOA, comes in. Amongst those officers, amongst those who appeared in Senate, in my own assessment, the only person who comes up objectively to say what she knows and what she thinks is right is Anne Wanjiku. Why? She's the only, remember Kanja gave us names. Kanja did not give us names of those who arrested Albert. For the first time, the names of those who arrested Albert were revealed. And this was a presentation by Anne Wanjiku.
Speaker, I'll give a brief of the facts that we have. From start, the DCI received a complaint from the DIG, Kenya Police, Mr. Eliud Lagat, through a letter referenced DIG KPS SCC POL Volume 2, 72 dated 4th June, where he alleged that he suffered continuous false and malicious publications on X account, formerly Twitter, with the username Pixel Pioneer, and requested investigations with a view to establish the person and motive behind it. On the same day, on 4th June 2025, the complainant was referred to Serious Crime Unit based at DCI headquarters for investigations. Through forensic analysis, they were able to identify the link used by the blogger and the person linked to the account as one Kelvin Moinde. On 5th June 2025, Kevin Moinde was arrested by DCI officers from the Serious Crime Unit at Gituki area, Bomachage, Borabu, and later escorted to Nairobi. He was placed in custody at Kamkunji Police Station, Nairobi. On interrogating the suspect, the officers established that one Albert Omondi Ojwang, herein referred to as the deceased, a resident of Leader Center within Homa Bay County, was a person of interest and therefore planned to arrest him. On 7th of June 2025 at around 8 a.m., team comprising of Sergeant Sigei, Sergeant Wesley Kipkorir Kirui, PC Dennis Kenyoni, PC Milton Mwanze, and PC Boniface Rabudo went to Leader Center in Homa Bay County and arrested the deceased at around 2:30 p.m. and took him to Mawego Police Station, and a later in custody via OB 10-7/6 of 2025. At around 3:54 p.m., the deceased was booked out via OB number 11/7/6 of 2025 and escorted to Nairobi, where he was booked at Central Police Station via OB number 136/7/6 of 2025 at 9:31 p.m. On 8th June 2025, according to the police signal, the deceased was rushed to Bagathi Hospital by police officers from Central Police Station, where he was declared dead and later taken to City Funeral Home. The authority learned of the death of Albert Ojwang in police custody on 8th June from the media, as well as through the police signal sent to the authority by the IG, and immediately commenced investigation. We have achieved the following tasks, Honorable Speaker. The scene was visited and documented for the purpose of preserving the integrity of the evidence, to establish the sequence of events, and identify any indicators of misconduct. Number 2, blood samples were collected from the scene, and blood spatter analysis was also done by our investigating officers. 3, all relevant police documents were collected from Central Police Station. The CCTV DVR was seized and forwarded for forensic analysis. Statements from all the 5 DCI arresting officers were recorded. A letter addressed to Bagavi Hospital requesting information on whether the deceased was treated at the facility was delivered. A reply is expected by 11th of June, that is today. The family of the deceased was contacted. Potential witnesses were also identified. The occurrence book records were obtained from Mawego police station. The post-mortem examination was attended, and a copy of the report was obtained. The samples drawn from the deceased body were secured and are pending onward transmission to the government chemist.
Look at those names. Sergeant Sigei, Sergeant Wesley Correr, I don't know, this PC, I don't know which nini, I think it's policeman, Dennis Kenyoni, Milton Mwanze, and Boniface Rapudo. I still ask, this question still crosses my mind. The four have not been interdicted. The Central Police Station, and you see, there is a very clear point here, and if they're not careful, the truth is going to come out, because the police bosses are pushing Central Police Station officers there to be guilty of everything. But then, don't you think the officers who arrested Albert in Homa Bay, they should write statement and they should have been interdicted? Why were their names being hidden? You know, and that's what I'm telling you. And for the first time, Vice Chair of IPOA is telling the country what the country has been asking. Because those are the people that those are the people that should tell the people, they should be able to, the two set of police officers should be, record their statements. Wale wa Homa Bay waseme, walipomleta Central, walimleta akiwa aje. Wale wa Central walisema, walimpata akiwa aje. That should be very clear. The second reason I'm saying Anne is getting it right. Anne is also telling the country that the CCTV footage at the OCS office in Central Police Station were tampered with. Very clear. And senators are demanding that if the CCTV footages at the DCI OCS of Central Police Station were tampered with, then the DCI should be able to reveal their own footages.
The key findings: one, that the CCTV systems located at OCS office had been interfered with. Number two, that the post-mortem conducted on 10th June 2025 revealed the cause of death as head injury due to blunt force trauma, neck compression, and multiple subcutaneous bruises all over the body. This, Honorable Speaker, the autopsy report and our preliminary investigation rule out the theory of suicide.
Who is the only son of a fairly elderly parent who are from the DCI. And when you speak from Homa Bay, I believe he was first taken to DCI. And Mr. Amin, I want to look at you, and you are a Muslim, and you have children. All of you have children. I also have children. Nobody will have any joy when you see somebody's son die.
Honorable Mogeni, the 2 hours have lapsed. I will therefore extend for a further 45 minutes.
Thank you. So, Mr. DCI, I believe that at the DCI offices, you have CCTV cameras. So if we need to connect the events before we end up at Central Police Station, Mr. Speaker, the life of Ojwang stops. We can also stop everything we are doing to get to the bottom of this matter. If we had John, Mr. Speaker, can we get the CCTV cameras that will track the movement of this young man from the DCI headquarters all the way to Central Police Stations? if we sincerely want Kenyans to know the truth, so that we know whether this guy was taken to Central Police Station dead or alive. So, Mr. Speaker, we want this to be an extraordinary session. If we have to go to the bottom of the truth, can the DCI tell us this afternoon, since you have sworn by the Quran, that you can get us the CCTV cameras that will show us the state this late man was when he left DCI, assuming that the CCTVs cameras at Central Police Station were tampered with.
They are different. The reception, haiwezi kuwa zote ziliharibika. Through since police bosses started giving these statements, they were never giving us this account. And this is now to join debts. You know, it's normal for you to, if someone wants to, you know, hide something, it's normal for them to say, this was this way. So Anne is making it also clear that those CCTV footages were tampered with. Number 3, in her presentation, she's also making it clear that when they compare the report of the autopsy that was done in yesterday and the police statements, the truth is they are rubbing out. They're actually discrediting the theory that Nani died, that there was self-inflicted pain on him. They are also advancing the theory of the third force. And probably, curiously, I'm quite interested why IPOA boss is not in the picture. As I said, hii ni ngumu bwana. Well, hii ni ngumu, hii ni ngumu. Even as senators are demanding and they're asking everyone, why is still, I even saw, hii ni ngumu. If you saw Aaron Cheriot asking his friend, and Aaron Cheriot is saying, you know, Lagat is my friend, but why don't he just step aside for investigations? Ni ngumu. I see. I've looked at, follow those sessions. I'm going to come up with more analysis as things move, because senators are still making their presentations. Kanja attempt to shield this case will take him down too. At this moment, I'd rather say the truth, stand with the people, even if it means me losing my job. If anything, he's reached his 60s. He should not allow his hands to be smeared with this. Because from what I'm seeing, Kanja is just reading a report that has been, and he looks very honest, by the way. He looks very innocent. I wish you stand with what it is. And why am I saying this? Murkomen is trying to throw Kanja under the bus. And Murkomen is saying, me and the president, we are not involved. It is now Kanja to decide. And someone will now, even after realizing that Lagat is, even if someone successfully links Lagat to this, Kanja might also be taken down. So to save yourself, the senators can save you if you are dismissed unfairly. Say the truth. And people should be ready to say the truth. My second observation is this. Murkomen absolving himself and the president from any sort of blame is a very big blunder that is bordering escapism. At this, someone dies in police cell. And yes, you can only give policy directions. And you have policy direction that you give. And then you are saying, ask me, I don't know. At the moment, with the magnitude of this, it is affront on the will of justice for the minister at this point to say, I don't know. He doesn't have that latitude. Because the question it begs is this: are the police answerable to anyone, or are they not answerable? If you're saying they're under their command, are the police answerable? And you know, I don't get it. There is intelligence. You give police, yes. But this has happened. What have you done? You cannot say, I don't know. You can as well say, this is what I think. Number 3. Failure to interdict, to write statement, and bring in the picture the Albert arresters is a signal of complicity on the side of investigators. But I know where they are being protected. They're being protected because the young people will go after their heads. And in fact, I'll be interested in that because, in fact, let me say you, the Central Police OCS, the police guys at the OCS might not have the answers. I don't even believe if he was tortured, if Albert was tortured, and I read the statement, I listened to the statement by Kanja saying that he called his wife while at the police cell. If he was tortured, then there are two ways. There are two things. If he was tortured inside the cell to death, then people penetrated and went there, tortured him, and then left. Or he was tortured by the police officers that are based there. Or he was tortured on his way to that police station, then arrived there when he was also in a critical condition. That is why the CCTV, because curiously, if he was just brought in kama Kosawa, why did someone have to tamper with the CCTV footages? And that is why the named officers who picked up Albert from Homa Bay, I think they can tell the senators the truth. In fact, instead of sitting there, the senators should demand that those officers be presented in the Senate. In person, yeah. Wachana tana kina Kanja. Don't even bother Kanja. Let them bring those officers there. The justice for Albert is in limbo. The big men are putting up bottlenecks to ensure that justice is not served. And the level of protection going on just propagates the narrative that there was a big man that was involved with this. Thank you.